Making a big move is super exciting, but it can also feel overwhelming, especially when you're relocating to a whole new city or even moving across state lines to settle here in Corpus Christi, Texas. Now, there is so much to consider, from getting settled into your new home and handling all the logistics like setting up utilities and transferring your driver's license to preparing for life here on the coast. But before we get into it all, if you're new to the channel or you're a returning viewer, welcome. I'm Lezli Milner. I'm a local real estate agent here in the Coastal Bend, and I create weekly videos about life here with tips and insights to help you make those informed decisions. So if you have any questions about the area or you're considering a move here and you need some help, my contact information is in the description below. I would love to help you guys out. Now, with that said, let's get into some of the tips to help make your move as stress-free as possible. So one of the first things that you're going to want to do when you're planning or considering a move to Corpus Christi is research the area, right? Corpus is a unique city and has a variety of neighborhoods and communities, each offering something different depending on your lifestyle and your needs. So whether you're drawn to North Padre Island for canal front living, or the South Side for its family-friendly atmosphere, or downtown Corpus, understanding the area is key to finding the right fit for you. So if you have children, then schools are likely higher on your list of priorities. You have Corpus Christi ISD that serves many of the neighborhoods here, and London ISD and Flower Bluff ISD are also popular districts that families often seek out here. And in addition, there are private schools and charter options if you are looking for some more specialized education in that sense. And if you want a deeper dive into the school districts and the top schools here in the area, then be sure to check out my other videos where I break it all down for you. If it's also so helpful to consider your daily routine and how the area aligns with your lifestyle, right? So do you prefer to be closer to the beaches, the marinas, the outdoor activities, or would you rather be closer to the shopping centers, the restaurants, the schools, the larger grocery stores? It really just depends on what you want. So each neighborhood has its own unique vibe, so narrowing down what's important to you can make your decision much easier. Now, local amenities are another important factor to research, because Corpus Christi offers so much, from outdoor activities like fishing spots and the beautiful parks to a variety of dining options and entertainment. And using tools like Google Maps or even YouTube can give you a virtual feel for the neighborhoods and their proximity to what matters most to you. I also recommend reaching out to someone who knows the area well, so that way you can get more specific insights to your situation. Now, here's a quick tip. Just take it one step at a time, because researching everything at once can really feel overwhelming. So just take a second, breathe, and create a list of priorities and focus one topic at a time, whether it's schools or commute times or even local healthcare options. And also, here's another tip. Don't forget to check out the Facebook groups or online forums for insights from the current residents and the locals. They can really give you a first-hand look at what it's like to live here, and you can just hear how the locals are talking and what's being said. And by doing your homework up front, you're going to feel more confident about your move and ensure that Corpus feels like home as soon as you get here. Another tip is planning ahead, which is one of the best ways to make your move to Corpus as smooth as possible. Because once you decided to make the move, start working on your to-do list early. I know it sounds crazy, but packing, organizing, and coordinating always take more time than you think. So giving yourself a head start can save you a lot of stress later on down the road. Start by gathering supplies like boxes, bubble wrap, packing tape, and markers to help label everything. And a good tip I like to recommend is start by packing one room at a time, starting with things that you don't use every day, so you can back up some seasonal clothes, some extra linen, some decorations first, and save your everyday essentials like your toiletries, kitchen items, your work supplies, all for last. This way you're not tearing through boxes trying to find something that you need that you packed up. You're also going to want to create an essential box, right? These are going to be items that you're going to need right away at your new home. So it's best to include things like tools to set up furniture, some cleaning supplies, some toilet paper, paper towels, paper plates, and anything else that you might need to get through the first day or two. Now, keep this box handy so it's the last one loaded up and it's the first one unpacked, so that way you don't have to worry and scramble through the boxes and find it. Another important step is creating a budget for unexpected expenses, because moving comes with all types of surprises, like needing to grab extra packing supplies, delays with movers, or even a last-minute hotel stay. Setting aside a little bit of extra money for these things will help keep the process stress-free if something were to pop up. Now, if you're hiring movers, book them as early as possible, especially if you're moving during the summertime, which is a little more busy season here in Corpus. So make sure you also ask what's included in their price, whether they're going to be packing, unpacking, or if you need to provide your own supplies. If you're doing the move yourself, reserve your rental truck early and plan your route, right? Include any rest stops, and if you're traveling with kids or pets, make sure you factor in that extra time as well. One last thing is stay flexible. Even with the best planning, things do not always go perfectly. You're going to have delays that happen, schedules that shift, and unexpected challenges that can pop up. And the key is just roll with it and focus on what really matters, getting settled into your new home here in Corpus and starting the next chapter of your life. Now, one thing you don't want to overlook when you're making a move to Corpus is setting up your utilities. The last thing you want to do after a long moving day is to walk into your new home and realize that you don't have power or water. Now, for electricity, Texas operates in a deregulated market, which means you can choose your own electricity provider from a range of options. Now, it's a good idea to always shop around for different rates and plans to find what works best for your household. And for water, trash, wastewater services, and natural gas, these are all going to be managed by the city of Corpus. So you're going to want to contact them to make sure you transfer all of these services into your name on your move-in date. So for internet and cable, you're going to have providers like Spectrum, AT&T, and Astrosound that serve the area, but it's always best to check which of these companies are available for your address, because not all of them serve certain areas of Corpus. And it's always best to schedule installation ahead of time to avoid any delays. Now, I know this can feel like a lot of phone calls and just a lot of coordination, but as part of working with me and my process, when you're relocating here, you're going to have access to Utility Connect, and this is a service that makes setting up all your utilities simple and stress-free by helping you get everything from electricity and internet in one place. So taking care of your utilities ahead of time will save you a lot of stress and ensure you can settle into your new home comfortably. Now, another tip that I want to share with you is that moving is the perfect time to declutter and let go of things that you no longer need. Not only will this save you time packing, but it will also cut down on some moving costs, especially if you're hiring movers or even if you're transporting everything yourself. I would say start going into each room and making 3 piles. Keep, donate, and toss. Now, let's be realistic about what you actually use and what you need. Items that have been sitting untouched for months or even years, do they really need to make the trip with you here to Corpus? Now, if you have items to donate, take care of this before you move, whether it's clothing, furniture, or household items. You can go donate these things at the donation centers like Goodwill or the Salvation Army are great options to help give your items a second life. Now, this way you're not paying to move things that you don't need and someone else benefits from them. So for those looking to even make a little extra cash, consider hosting a garage sale or even listing these items on online marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace or even Craigslist before you move. This can help offset some of your moving expenses while simplifying the process. And By downsizing before the move, you're not only saving a little bit of money and effort, but also ensuring you arrive in Corpus with only the essentials. Now, this makes unpacking and getting settled so much smoother and just allows you to focus on enjoying your new home and not decluttering when you get here and unpack. One of the most important steps when planning a move to Corpus is deciding how you actually want to handle the move. Whether you're moving from out of state or you're just a few hours away, finding that right solution, whether it be hiring professional movers or going the DIY route and doing it yourself, can make a huge difference. So my next tip to you is, if you're relocating from out of state, consider moving companies that specialize in those long distance moves. These companies are experienced in handling interstate moves and will help you navigate all the logistics of getting your belongings safely here to Texas. Now, make sure you compare reviews, ask about delivery timelines, and confirm that they're licensed and insured. Some companies even offer tracking for your shipments, so you know where your items are at all times. So for those that are considering the DIY route and doing it yourself, renting a moving truck like a U-Haul or a Penske really gives you more control over packing and the timing of your move. This is a great budget-friendly option, but it does require more effort on your part. So be sure to plan your route, account for fuel costs, and factor in rest stops, especially if you're traveling with kids or pets. And if you're handling a local move or you need help finding some reliable movers here in the Corpus Christi area, I can recommend a few trusted companies that I've worked with and clients who have had great experiences with, and I'd be happy to connect you with some movers who can help you with your needs. Whether you're looking for a full service mover or just help unloading, I can point you in the right direction. Another key tip is to book your movers or your rental truck as early as possible, especially during the peak moving seasons, because movers here in Corpus can get booked up pretty quick, and securing your spot early only ensures that you have the flexibility to work around your schedule. Also, be sure to ask these companies questions, whether it's about their hidden fees, their cancellation policies, or even how they handle fragile items. A reputable company should be able to provide you clear answers and make you feel confident about your decision. So no matter what option you choose, having a solid plan in place will really make your move much less stressful. So taking these steps early will allow you to focus on settling into your new home easier. If you're selling a home in one state and buying in another, coordinating the timing of these transactions can feel a little overwhelming. While it's possible to close on both homes on the same day, that scenario can be rare. It's more realistic to, I would say, plan around some time between the sale of your current home and the purchase of your new one, especially if you need the proceeds of your sale to fund your next purchase. Now, to make the transition smoother, I would say aim to close on the sale of your home a couple days before closing on your new home. This gives you a little bit of breathing room in case any delays occur, which can be common with paperwork, inspections, or financing, and planning ahead will help reduce the stress if any unexpected delays happen. Now, if there's a gap between the two closings, it's very important to have a backup plan. This could include booking a hotel for a few nights, staying with friends and family, or negotiating even a leaseback agreement to temporarily rent out your current home from the new buyer. And on the other hand, you can also talk to the seller of your new home about early occupancy, allowing you to move in before the official closing date. So for those who are relocating across state lines, many title companies and lenders offer remote or virtual closing options, and this allows you to sign the necessary documents online without physically being present in the title office, and saving time, making this process way more convenient if you're still in another state. But even with virtual closings, you're not going to receive the keys to your new home immediately. But working closely with your real estate agent is key to navigating the complexities of selling and buying in two states. With the right preparation, you can really minimize the stress. Now, when moving to a new state, handling your driver's license, your vehicle registration, and other official documents can vary widely depending on where you're moving from. Every state has its own requirements, but here's what you need to know for Texas to make the transition even easier. So if you're moving here to Texas, there are a few important tasks that you need to take care of within 30 days to ensure you're officially settled in. Now, while every state has its own rules, here's what you need to know to get everything in order here in Texas. New residents must complete a vehicle inspection, register and title their vehicle, and provide proof of financial responsibility. Now, during both the inspection and registration process, keep in mind that your vehicle must pass inspection before it can be registered and titled. You're also going to need to transfer your driver's license, but Texas allows new residents to legally drive with a valid, unexpired license from another U.S. state, territory, or qualifying country up to 90 days. Now, after that, you're going to need to apply for a Texas driver's license. And when you update your license, you can also register to vote at the same time, making it very convenient to handle both tasks during your visit. Now, to make the DMV process smoother, scheduling an appointment online in advance is highly recommended. While it's not going to eliminate those wait times entirely, it can help reduce the time you spend at the DMV. But be prepared for delays and longer wait times, though, as DMV offices here in Corpus can get a little bit busy, especially during the peak hours. Now, planning ahead and allowing some extra time will help make this step less stressful. Another important step to this is updating your address. Start by submitting a change of address with USPS to ensure your mail is forwarded to your new home, and additionally update your address with important accounts like banks, credit cards, insurance providers, and subscriptions. Taking care of this early will prevent missed bills or important correspondence from being sent to your old address. Now, for more detailed information about moving to Texas and transferring all this information over, I'll be sure to include a helpful link in the description of this video for you to check out with all that info. Now, completing these steps early will help you settle in more smoothly and just give you a little bit more time to enjoy life here in Corpus. My last tip to you, since Corpus is a coastal city, hurricanes are something that you're going to need to be prepared when you're living here. While hurricanes don't happen every year, it's essential to have a plan in place just in case. Now, one of the first steps is knowing your local evacuation routes. The city of Corpus provides excellent resources and maps to help you understand the safest ways to leave an area if an evacuation is ordered. Now, additionally, it's best to have an emergency kit ready with essential supplies like bottled water, non-perishable food, flashlights, batteries, some first aid items, and important documents. And another step is reviewing your homeowner's insurance policy. Now, keep in mind that standard policies don't always cover flood damage, which is common during a hurricane, right? You may also need to purchase separate flood insurance to ensure that your home is fully protected. Now, take the time to confirm what is and what isn't covered with your insurance provider so that way you're not caught off guard in case of damage, right? And if you have pets, please include them in your hurricane plans. Do not leave them. Make sure you pack their pet food, their medications if they have any, extra water, leash, carrier in your emergency kit. It's also a good idea to research pet-friendly shelters or hotels ahead of time so that way you're not scrambling at the last minute to find somewhere to go. In addition to having emergency supplies on hand, consider preparing a go bag with essentials like clothing, medications, chargers, cash, copies of important documents. This way, if you have to leave quickly, you have everything you need in one place. Staying informed is also very crucial during a hurricane. Sign up for weather alerts through local apps or websites and monitor updates during hurricane season, which runs from June to November. Now, be aware of developing storms and their potential paths. This will give you more time to prepare and decide if a hurricane is a threat to the area. Lastly, preparation is key to peace of mind, and having a plan and knowing what to do if a hurricane comes your way can make all the difference in the world. and I'll be sure to include the link to the City of Corpus Christi Hurricane Preparedness resources in the description below, so that way you can check out the detailed information and make sure you're ready for hurricane season. Now, by taking advantage of these resources and preparing your home, you can stay safe while enjoying everything that Corpus Christi has to offer.